Jazzy, look at you, fucking Top Gunning up there.
What?
With the V-neck and the 80s jacket, the fucking hair. Dude, I like what's going on with that French group.
And
That's good.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
I want to say good evening to Packer fans worldwide and welcome to 2D and a C, the Green Bay Packer Pod with the Dad Bod. I mean, well, everyone, we came close, but in the end, it just wasn't meant to be. You know what I mean? The many things that seemingly started to go well for the Pack, like converting on third down for some big plays, I would like to say. For instance, Reed and Musgrave. We've got a little video coming up a little later, but also to getting to see Love open up a little bit of that long ball. Not so much to his left side. I've noticed that, that left side ball, the long ball isn't exactly there, especially when he's going to number 9, but at least his out and dump is starting to play. So of that, that's at least some pluses that we got to see. But in the end, we were saying before, the battle of the defenses was won by the Steelers. Not to mention, to add insult to injury, the Packers actually have not won in Pittsburgh since 1970. Let's let that sink in for just a minute. 1970. I know we as Packer fans remember a time when the Packers never lost a playoff game at home. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
I also know we remember back-to-back legendary quarterback dynasties. Can I get an amen?
Amen.
But it seems that for everything that we discovered to be a positive this week, really week in and week out for this young team, we still find ways to literally not get it done. So tonight, my friends, we're going to look over this game. We are going to break it all down, maybe leave out some facts, make some statements that we'll likely regret. And if you got cheese in your veins, beer on your breath, the Packers in your heart, well, ladies and gentlemen, cheese.
Two dads and a chance, putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a chance, talking Green Bay Packers football. We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Mostly gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air condition, cause it's bound to get hot. Two dads and a chance, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a chance, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides them rings and putting trophies on the wall. Trophies, y'all. Two dads and a chance is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to also let everybody know to like, share, and subscribe. But we are also, this is groundbreaking news here on 2D and a C. We are also now on Instagram and Facebook. So you can follow Two Dads and a Chaz Instagram and Two Dads and a Chaz Facebook, which will link to all of our streaming platforms. So again, I want to thank everybody who has liked, subscribed, and shared. Remember to keep doing that. We're going to move into the episode just a little bit here, my friends. So, gents, I'd like to start by, before we get into all the negative stuff, talk about a little bit of the positives, a couple of the things that made us feel good, the things that happened this week that also made us feel good. Like, for instance, I woke up with morning wood. That was awesome. Love that.
Been a while?
No, it's just like, it was just one of those things. Ty,
Made you feel young again, didn't it, Chaz?
It really did. It really did. And more so, we had a couple of guys that got inducted into the Green Bay Packer Hall of Fame. We had Clay Matthews and we had Aaron Campbell, which, by the way, if you guys don't know, two of Green Bay's top pass rushers in franchise history to be inducted, which will be in late August. Let's give it up for him. Let's give it up. You know what's funny about these mics? They're so good, Tyson, but they really they pick up no claps whatsoever. You know what I mean? None.
Unlike you.
I know, right? Ba-da-ki-doo. At the end of the day, my friends, there was only one thing that happened, though, and this one hurt the most. Guess what? We lost. It was a tough loss, but there were some great things that happened. Gentlemen, I want to hear a little bit of breakdown how you felt about the game, where you were at, and just in general, your feelings and thoughts and concerns. Mayhew.
Chaz, thank you. I was on the West Coast for the beginning of this game. San Francisco Airport, we arrived 2 hours early because out there football games start at 10 a.m., which is crazy, but I also kind of love it. Super excited. We get in there, we get through all the riffraff, the wife and I, and we find the first sports bar that we can. And by first, I mean only, right? Two screens. And immediately I realized that the San Francisco 49ers are also playing at noon, which is fine, right? They're on Fox. Quickly check the phone. CBS is where we are. I'm like, hey, this is okay. This is okay. So I reach, casually to the bartender. Hey, would you mind possibly just changing one of these screens to the Packer game on CBS? And they this gentleman, he was.
Did you ask like a real bitch like that too, or did you give us some bass in your voice?
Excuse me, sir. Would you mind changing the screen?
That's exactly how it sounded. I'm out of my element, gentlemen. I apologize.
I get it.
And he sniffed weakness immediately, Tyson, as you're implying, and he literally kind of looked me in the eye. It's like, and kind of he walked, no response, just being like, yeah, I'm not gonna do it. Now, while I was
West Coast,
infuriated in the moment, I thought of myself back here too. Like if I was a bartender, let's just say it's like Madison, and some San Fran motherfucker's like, hey, do you mind throwing the channel over? I'd be like, same situation. But gentlemen, happy news here for this guy was that as soon as we jumped onto the airplane, Delta, thank God, had live TV function immediately. Boom, boom, pop, pop. And I had this game on like a 4 to 5 inch screen. It cut out often, but I saw the entire second half. Whole first half, I was basically just like following on my phone, and for me personally, I'm taking up a lot of time here. This was actually the first game in a long time where I actually felt pretty good about what I saw. And I'm kind of excited to get your all perspective and kind of break this thing down. So Chaz, back to you.
What did he say? All I heard was, please, sir, can I have some more? Ty, what were your experiences with the game, man? Pluses, little minus. Like, did you at least have a good viewing experience?
Yeah, I've been chilling at home mostly for these games.
Good place, right?
Yeah. Low-key experience, keeping it simple. Not trying to overdo it, just like, not busting out the smorgasbord if it's going to be another loss. So I'm like walking in with minimal expectations, keeping a few tricks in the bag if I need them, run to the cheese drawer, but like I'm not trying to overcomplicate things. I think we need to simplify. So I've been simplifying my experience. And it's nice because then I can get other things done that day. But no, my likes were the style of game it was, the run, the D, it was just what we thought it would be. And I really liked the grit and grime of it. I enjoyed having the lead for 1 minute and 17 seconds. That was fun for me. I really the hope was there, man. And such a pivotal game because we're at a point in the season where it was going to swing whether I could continue to be optimistic or not. Like, because 4 and 5 is so much different than 3 and 6. That there's still some wins on the board maybe. But all in all, I enjoyed watching it. Like Mayhew, I had kind of confidence in this one. Like whether ill-founded or not. I liked the matchup, and I like how we took them toe-to-toe. I like what I saw as far as adjustments from the coaching staff. And I think that, there's some just so many things I'd like to take back and do differently, but that's the NFL, isn't it?
I get that, buddy. You talking about, keeping things safe as far as cheesing up on D and things. I mean, in just a few weeks, we got to talk about, that Dirty Bird Day. Are we spending more time making that Dirty Bird? Are we spending more time trying to cheese up on D? It's going to be a hard one. I can't wait to talk to my main man, Tyson, about it. But that will come in just a few weeks. My man, did you at least get to watch this game, or did you get somehow suckered into like changing a guy's tire who you found out was like a weird Buccaneers fan who you ended up really liking, who like gave you a sixer, but like then you were stuck with him for 9 days? Like, what the fuck, bro?
I like your version. That's definitely more interesting. No, I threw an impromptu smorgasbord for a loss, just like Ty is trying to avoid. I can understand the concept there, Ty, because we had an unexpected gathering of family at the house. So I didn't expect to, but I had a full house. Luckily, I also had a full freezer, and I said 2 + 2 =
15.
A whole bunch of frozen shitty food on one platter. So that's what I did. I pretty much took half the freezer that was basically, I thought, like, did I buy this in the last like 6 months to a year? The answer is no. Or yes, whatever. It's got to go. So it turned out there was a lot of stuff in that category that did not go together. But it worked out in terms of the entertaining side. However, as we all know, the Packers did not win this game. Last week, we grabbed a tree branch, as I said, that stopped us from our free fall. This week, that branch broke, but our foot got lodged in a rock, and now we're dangling in the wind. Not dead yet, but definitely not in a great spot. Okay. We saw the return of our low T run defense, unfortunately, and some chartable progress on the offensive side of the ball. There's some positives. For a 4-point loss, there's a lot to take from this matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I would say we're gonna break it all down, like we leave out some facts at this week's edition of Two Dads and a Chaz.
I would say the number one thing that upset me about this game is the fact that after last season dealing with number 9 here, somehow we're just unable to connect with this guy. We thought this guy, Christian Watson, was going to come out and just be someone who was just going to raise the bar for us. And all I'm seeing, and I talked a little bit about this in the opening, as far as the deep ball to this guy, we just seem to not be able to connect with him. As you can see, 5 of 10 INT targets for Christian Watson this season. That's pretty fucking terrible. It's pretty terrible. We keep doing it. We keep going to him. And I'm feeling like the golden child is starting to turn into the poopy child. I want to talk a little bit about how we all thought his performance was. I've got a couple of slides here. I'm just going to kind of roll through, but I want a little, just a little bit of free discussion, because it's getting to the point where they keep calling it and it's just not working. And I'm talking outside of the last play of the game.
No one's going to take it? Really? You guys waiting for me? All right, I'll do it. Yeah, man, Christian Watson is definitely, well, first of all, let's just say this. I don't believe that he's healthy. I don't think he's been healthy since he came back from being hurt. I think that we made the mistake, like the Packers do, of putting a guy in a poster and saying, I saw once with Ryan Grant was on a goddamn poster in the stadium, and they're trying to sell me that this guy is the premier feature running back when everyone knows he's dog shit. And as a result, we had to watch him get 20, 25 carries a goddamn game for like no yards. And why? Why? Because he practiced well. He had a good year with Brett Favre, followed by a decent follow-up year, followed by like a very disappointing year, and then a broken leg. So I feel like we did a similar thing here with Christian Watson, where we put the cart in front of the horse and we said, that's our number one. He's got blistering speed. He's a big guy who can beat you deep. Well, what happens when your blistering speed is negated by a hamstring injury? And now you have average speed. Well, now you need to be in your big. Well, now it's assumed you're what? A possession receiver, right? You should at least be able to do that. Contesting catches aren't really like his thing. He's more like, I'll burn you and get wide open and then drop the ball like, I don't know, like 30% of the time when it's right in my hands. So like, I feel like he was another guy that we drafted that was raw and had these huge high upside measurables. And these are guys that Goody likes to get, you know, Rashawn Gary type. We just drafted Lucas Van Ness, these raw guys. But again, that's assuming we are drafting and developing. I am not seeing the development for a guy that I heard was asking an incessant amount of questions when he came in last year to Aaron Rodgers, wouldn't stop talking, but he kept getting hurt. So either one of three things is happening with this player. Either one, he's not running his routes all the way hard, whatever, and I don't believe that's the case at all. I think he is probably hurt. He is feeling the pressure of being Green Bay Packers' number one wide receiver. He sees that poster every time he drives into work. He sees himself at the grocery store when he's picking up his milk. And he says, fuck, man, I got to be out there. I got to play. Deion Sanders played 2 sports on the torn hamstring. I can play one. You know, I got to, my team needs me. And then LaFleur is saying, we need this guy to be respected in the league as a number one deep threat. If we can get them respecting him, we can scheme him open and we can do all these things, and they're going to have to follow him and all this. Here's the problem. I don't think the league's buying it anymore. I don't think they believe that he is what we're selling. And as a result, he is easily getting beat with single coverage. He is not getting open, and he is not catching contested catches, which if you look at his career stats, is not a new thing. He thrives when he's open. And the question was, is he going to be able to catch those balls when it's in the NFL and those windows are shorter? And when he got here, it seemed like he was so fast that it maybe wasn't going to be an issue. It doesn't matter if you can't catch. And what good is it if you got a quarterback that's not super perfect at throwing the ball deep and you line up on the left and he really can't throw to the left? Like, turns out that's the one spot I didn't expect you guys to need me to I can't go left. Like, that's the one thing I can't do. I can throw anywhere. Crazy high percentage throw to the right. No problem. Yeah, no problem. Right down the seam, 35, 40 yard, zinger on a rope, no problem. That little touch, no problem. But you want me to go to the left? I don't know. I'm not really good at the left.
The scapularis looked good. You know, I can't say the scapularis was giving him a lot of trouble last week. I thought about Tyson's statement last week with Watson being the right guy, the wrong time.
Yeah,
I actually think he's the right guy on the wrong team. And I think that to the Packers, he's my 4th, 5th, 6th favorite option all of a sudden. I just hope there's a team out there that like way overvalues him and desperately wants him, because I think Christian Watson is fantastic trade bait right now. And
even though he's not catching those balls,
he would definitely be a guy that if I were Goody, I'd be looking to move on. Because you got Dobbs, you got Reed, you got Musgrave, you got other options, guys that'll be better for love and not be so one-dimensional. I could see another team biting on Watson, and I could see us really kind of getting something for him.
I want to keep Mayu to a minimum because I know that he had a major case of broke dick last week, and I don't want him to get too worked up if he doesn't have to. Porcelain, you tell me, buddy, are you feeling up to the challenge today? Can you get a little heated or?
It's strong like bull. Yes. Yes. Do you mind if I take a bite out of this?
Go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Gentlemen, a lot of what you said was very accurate. I think Christian Watson has been struggling mightily as of late. Just PFF kind of break this thing down. He caught just 2 of 7 targets, producing only 23 receiving yards on 34 routes run and also had a drop. 34 routes. Now,
Damn.
two things are in my mind. One is that I don't know if Jordan Love feels an urgency to like force it into this like guy because I mean the 2 interceptions basically were directly to him. The first one in the end zone was what it was. The second one came at the end of the game, the final play, and I didn't see like the exact breakdown of what other options he might have had, but I think the underlying theme for me is more that we wiped out any veteran presence that we have in the wide receiver room, and we have a bunch of rookies with like maybe they have talent, maybe they do, but they have zero fucking leadership. They have no idea what it takes to be an NFL receiver. Now, Christian Watson in particular was in D1 fucking SEC or whatever, North Dakota. He could literally run past everybody, jump over everybody, and make play after play after play. And he looked like a highlight reel. I've seen it. And I was like, okay, I'm pretty excited about that. He comes to the NFL. That shit does not translate. You cannot just run past NFL corners. So you need nuance to your route running. You need to fucking have hands of steel. You need all these facets that even Devontae Adams, year 1 through 3, did not have. It was developed. It was taught. It was talked about by Donald Driver, fucking Greg Jennings, guys that taught these guys how to be professionals. So what do we have right now? We wiped all that away. We have Christian Watson. We have Romeo Dobbs. We have Jade. Guys, we have the youngest. Goddamn, we've talked about it, but that doesn't matter. It's more coaching. Is it more who can teach these guys how to be professionals? And we just simply don't have it right now, gentlemen. So as much as I want to chastise Christian Watson,
Chastise.
Coin that. It is a bigger problem. And like, I mean, Ty, you're sitting here talking about trading this motherfucker away. No, you take that speed, you take that ability, and it just needs to be coached. It needs to be tweaked. And even like injuries and shit like that, I feel like sometimes can start and then slowly, like NFL players know how to develop their bodies. They do things different where it's like they can absorb those injuries a little bit better. So I'm not giving up on the guy. I'm kind of hopeful, but we need to take fucking steps in the right direction. And I don't know what that means necessarily. Tyson, you know what I'm feeling? Oh, I passed it to the wrong guy.
Well,
Ty.
Tyson for some reason is on mute. I don't know why he's on
Same
mute.
question, but to
it wasn't,
sorry,
wasn't
I'm
me.
back.
Hang on.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'm back.
Hang on.
Okay.
Tyson and go.
Yeah, I'd say he also needs to probably be benched right now. That's what he really needs. He needs
Bingo.
some time. If you're not at 100% right now, you are dealing with an 80, 75%, 80% Christian Watson who doesn't have the fucking turbo boosters. Then we need to set him down because they're not buying him as a decoy and he's not getting open and we're just going to get him hurt. And also, like, you're hurting his confidence. He needs to get shut down and remember that he wants to play football. Also, there's other guys on this team that are producing at this time. Sometimes I know they're like, you got to get them reps. So you got to do all this stuff. But sometimes if you put a person out there that it's not working, you're putting them in a limited position. I don't know if it's necessarily you're not getting a full Christian Watson. So why put it out? Why put that out there? Is that benefiting him to learn how to play when he's, limited? He should be able to be a factor. He's not. So,
I mean, Juwan Reed had that 3rd and 16 for that 35-yard touchdown, which was awesome.
Hell yeah, he did. Feed the Reed.
Yeah, but like that was a Love kind of deep ball, which we got to see a little bit of this in this game. But got to remember that was the one that was also followed by a block point. It's not that he's not finally opening up and getting some of these, but I'll only keep going back. And Tyson, I want you to keep going. Is that I just keep thinking that a blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then. It's not that he's not getting some of these deep balls, and we're actually getting some of these 3rd and outs. But continue with your thought. But I just feel like it's not even so much these receivers. It's at the end of the day, it's our quarterback when it comes to opening up this ball.
Maybe, I don't know. I felt like I don't want to get into Jordan Love until we're getting into Jordan Love, but I felt like he actually had a pretty good game. I was very impressed with Jordan Love. I thought that we are heading in the right direction in certain parts of this. This team is like fucking ships in the night. We're heading in one direction in one area and the other direction in the other. Last week and the week before, defense was getting some actual traction and doing stuff, and offense was slipping, and it just started to grab. And then now defense is sliding way back, and offense is actually doing some positive stuff. I'll be honest, if our defense played half a fucking bit as good as any other team would against the run, if we would have figured out a solution to stop the run, we played well enough on offense to definitely win that game. That was a winnable game. We did not win the game because we gave up too much on defense, and it was really hard to make any kind of stop or get anything going. The pressure was too much. And then also, like, this is what, 3 times Jordan Love has had an opportunity to win a game for us, and he has not gotten it done. So, like, one time he did it for Atlanta. But that's
fuck,
3
man?
times. He's not there yet. He's just not there. I'm not saying he's never gonna be. I'm just saying he had a good game. The progress is growing. We're seeing all kinds. Dude, I saw some wild throws. I'm sure you guys maybe noticed them. I don't know. I saw a great play up the middle, seam throws to Musgraves that were like everything I wanted. I love what I'm seeing out of Dontavion Wicks, and I love what I'm seeing out of Jaden Reed. Like, these guys are doing their job, making it look easy, and loves hitting them in stride. This is why Christian Watson looks bad, is because and don't tell me he's fucking young. I'm so tired of that fucking excuse for this guy. He's not that young. He's in his 2nd fucking year. He had a full year going through the Aaron Rodgers boot camp. He's not that fucking young, all right? We got 2 rookies outperforming him. Those guys are young. So I'm just tired of everybody being like, he's too young. Don't tell me that.
You
Another thing.
a little heated about something there, made you.
Anybody said that they were young. Please, Ty.
About
Christian
what?
Watson, knowing everything that Tyson just spit out just now, where are you at?
Yeah, he's fast, made of glass, one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm sorry, he's not made of glass. He's made of sugar cubes. And if you hit him hard
Get 'em
enough,
wet.
they disintegrate. Yep.
Mhm.
He's yeah, it's just not if he had any other dimension other than speed, I could live with that. If it's speed and hands, or speed and body control, or speed and but there's just no and with Christian Watson. He's not outsmarting the corners, he's not breaking fast. It's just flat speed, which there are Atlanta Falcons teams that would take that. Like that. That's why I mentioned that. It's just I don't think that I'm ready to invest that much in Christian Watson when he's the 5th best target on the field. When Wicks is outperforming him, Dobbs looks like my go-to. Reed's stud, and Watson. By the time we get to Watson, it's like I just don't think that we should be investing the time in developing him when we can develop actual assets that we don't know. But these guys look a lot more multifaceted than what I'm seeing from Christian Watson. I think the coaching staff is losing confidence in him, and I think that we're going to see less Christian Watson going forward, I think.
Chess, I just got to close it out here because these two are just pissing me off in general. Look, he is not a star at this point. You're talking about not investing in a second-year starter that we invested a 2nd-round draft pick in. That is the fucking fastest individual that we have on this team. He just needs a little bit of time, I think. And you guys want to talk about him being soft, being hurt? Motherfucker, like,
always.
Hold on. Last game, right? He went down with, like, I don't even know. He had like a contusion in his chest and fucking this and all that. Did he not play this Sunday? Did he not get out there and play? Motherfucker is out there trying to do his thing. Yeah.
I think you should keep hyping Christian Watson. I think you should keep telling everybody that he's the number one. I think that makes him hella valuable. Maybe we'll get a second round pick.
Didn't say any of that. Didn't say any of that. I'm trying to.
You just keep saying
what
what
you're
you're
saying that he's worth
saying
us
to me,
trading
all right?
for a second round pick.
Y'all are making my dick hurt right now.
It's
Well,
not us.
Let's talk about a couple other things in that first half. First of all,
let's talk about some other things
there are some things
require less logic too. Let's go.
I got a lot to say. I feel like our defense was. If I was the Steelers, here's how I'd come at our team after watching our performance against the Rams. I'd say, well, step one, they look like they filled gaps pretty well. We're going to need to make sure we seal those off, and let's make them stop the run first. Then, what does matter what happens then in your conversation? Because that's as far as you needed to go with your plan. They probably had a whole scheme to beat these our whole secondary is unprepared. We brought Ford back, but other than that, we didn't have any veteran leadership in the entire secondary. It was all a bunch of rookies or unexperienced players. So you'd think that they would be taking shots, but they're like, nah, let's see how the run goes first. And then we just weren't able to stop the run at all. And they were able to beat us that simply. I mean, it did come down to that. And when they tried to throw at that point, they were ice cold because they had not thrown all game. And we actually had an upper hand at that point because you can't win a comeback game strictly running, So like, again, we had opportunities to win this game.
I like what we have in the run game. I've never had a problem with either running back. What I have a problem with is a sloppy, lazy, fat offensive line that's always hurt or super inadequate. I think what we have in the run game, I mean, you could ride these guys to playoffs. I mean, you really could if you had the right line. And so that's the hang up. That's the missing piece. You want the answer to solve the offense. I think Jordan Love is going to be a better quarterback next year than he was this year. I think the receivers are getting better. I like what we have at tight end. Every one of these offensive linemen is trash, with the exception of Zach Tom, maybe. But you could rebuild. If you're going to rebuild and remodel, that's it. That's the game of football to me. It's offensive linemen and linebackers. And if you're not winning in those categories, the rest of it is just for flash. Like it's not a sustainable system. So, yeah. The running back situation for this year is nice. I worry about Jones becoming 30 and all of these things that go along with that. But for the most part, if we could get them the ball more, I'd be happier.
To follow up on that, Ty, for me, I got to be honest, A.J. Dillon has been running his ass off the past couple of games. And I'm saying, like, maybe I was too hard on him, like a majority of the season where, like, he just didn't have holes. You know what I mean? It's not that the guy's not trying, but he's making the most of what he's given as of recent. But to take it a step further here, we're talking about Aaron Jones. I was fucking pissed at Aaron Jones this last game. This guy was making very little of his opportunities. Where okay, he just seemed a little bit out of sorts. So like at his runs, as much as I hate fucking trick plays, and I think this one in particular on like third down, I'm like, is this where we have to go? Everybody saw it. The guy still dropped the ball, and he had a wall of blockers in front of him where it's like, hey, maybe that could have been something. Could have been a turning point of the game. But the one that really rings fucking true is when we know we're in the final drive of the game. And oh my God, I thought we didn't have a stand a fucking chance. And then Jordan just hits Jaden Reed for like a 46-yard dagger to get us within striking distance. I'm like, oh, okay. No timeouts. Let's do this. We know, LaFleur, let's see what we got going on here. He basically has to check the ball down to Aaron Jones because like the blitz came, and Jones cuts inside towards the middle of the field instead of just running out of bounds. I don't care if you get 1 yard, 6 yards, you get the fuck out of bounds and give us a moment. Like that is 101 football. And for a veteran of his stature to do that, I was punching the back of my fucking seat in the airplane. Yeah. And Sally, Samuel, I don't know who the fuck was sitting in front of me. Yeah. Doesn't matter. God damn it. Anybody else feel the same way? You screaming at the TV?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it is, I had to leave the room because I had family. I had to go into my bedroom so I could watch it in that moment because I was so frustrated that took so long. People are like, here's my argument. That game and even last game are my argument against people that say you got to give Aaron Jones the ball 25, 30 times a game. No, you don't. You look at his stats when that happens, guess what happens? Mistakes, guys. We give him a pass because he's a nice guy, and we give LaFleur shit for that same fucking thing, okay? It's the same situation. Everybody loves this guy. I love him too, but we somehow just like seem to forget that he fumbles the ball an awful lot, okay? In big moments, huge moments in his tenure here have been turned on that. I'm not saying I don't love him, but we selectively are like Amon Green was known as a fumbler. If you look at their fumbles, they're pretty similar. Like it's not that he's not known as a fumbler. He also has made some big mistakes in big moments, unfortunately, and he's a great guy and everybody loves him.
No, we love him. We love him because he's good because he makes our team better, Tyson. Without him,
I agree.
We suffered. Without him, we couldn't beat the Broncos when the Broncos were ice cold and on their backs. And we don't have Aaron Jones, and we can't even beat them. I think he makes our team better. And so if the stats will say 80 yards and a fumble, but he makes everybody on that team better.
But let's remember, while we're chastising fucking Jordan Love for throwing a pick here and there at the end of a game or in big pressure situations when our team has no momentum and we're ready to call this guy done, mostly me, I'm talking about right here. When we're doing that, let's not forget that we also have other guys that make big plays and then also lose in big moments. So and we love them just the same.
That's
so
football.
I'm not.
Can I just say, Ty, I completely have your back, Tyson. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. The week before, we give this guy 20 carries. He completely changes the offense, and we're praising him. And then one game later, he fucked up. I agree. I think the problem, Ty, tell me if I'm wrong here, is that LaFleur has given this man no consistency. Can he just know going into a game that he is the bell cow? We can rotate Dylan in and just kind of see what happens. We are more dynamic with this man on the field. No fucking doubt.
I don't disagree that we're more dynamic. And I'm not saying I don't want him to play. I like him. I'm just saying when he plays a lot, mistakes happen. That's all I'm saying.
I'm cool with the lighter workload for Jones. That's
I just hate your take, Tyson. That's all I'm saying. I think it's
well, that's
horrible.
Great, Aaron. Thank you for that. I don't like your headphones. They look fucking stupid. So everybody has opinions.
Hey, take it easy on him. He hurt his penis.
I won't. West Coast. All right. You fucking surly leprechaun. I'll fucking come through the screen.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
No, there are guys on this team that I'm more disappointed in.
Me.
I know he's coming back from injury from 3 seasons ago, but Devondre Campbell is a ghost. I keep looking for Devondre Campbell to show up, and he makes a tackle here and there, but he is not an exciting linebacker right now. He is not a guy. In that little stretch he had, that CC Sabathia stretch where he was just the number one linebacker for 6 straight weeks in a row, it was awesome. But then I haven't seen him all season. I keep looking to make a note, and I'm like, McDuffie exclamation points, Devondre Campbell question marks.
Ty, that's an incredible take. I could not agree more. And I feel like it's this Packer goggles thing that we get where someone flashes for a moment and we're like, oh my God, he's the fucking next coming of this. We should sign him. We should probably give him a lot of money too, And
Darius.
It just doesn't pan out, man. I like what, and maybe and maybe he's playing hurt. I don't know, but it doesn't matter because like end of day on Sunday, I just need to see fucking results. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's keep a PFF grade eye on Devondre, because
Yeah,
I'm guessing he's not in the top. He's barely making tackles.
I think last week we had the McDonald's.
It's even worse, Ty.
Campbell.
He's not top and he's not bottom. He's just insignificant. Sorry, Tyson. Go ahead.
No, last week we had McDonald's and Campbell soup. You know, it was a weird combination, but it really worked. It really hit the fucking spot, filled the gaps, got it done. We were fucking getting there ahead of time. Well, what happens when you eat McDonald's and Campbell soup together 2 weeks in a row? You get diarrhea. That's right. You get terrible diarrhea, and that's what they put on the field this week with a lot of diarrhea, which is what happens when you eat too much Campbell's soup and too much McDonald's together too many days in a row. It is not good for you. And I will tell you this, that it's not good for our team to not have Quay Walker on the field. And I think that that once we get Quay back, there's a clear role. But you know what's disappointing is that it really looked like the week before we had figured it out for a minute. Like all of a sudden we had this thumper and we had the other guy. And like that seemed like a good thing. And then this week, like all of a sudden, no one could fucking get off a block. Nobody could shed a block. They were getting patty caked. It was pathetic. What's with the fucking 2 down linemen? Can we talk about that fucking bullshit? Are you tired? Yep. Are you guys tired? Is that our base formation now? We're not even a 3-4. We're like a 2-6. What the fuck's going on there? And I hate that LaFleur got pissy at my boy Jason when he asked in the most tasteful way, why the fuck are you going out there against a run team with 2 defensive linemen on the ground? And he said, well, actually, the outside linebackers are linemen. So, it's like, that's not the point. The point is it's a mismatch when you've got fucking an extra 400 pounds of beef going up against your defense and you don't and you have those guys and they're sitting on the sideline.
Need a little more huck and chuck at football, guys.
No, we went really
no more beasts. Tyson was talking about that 2 games ago. Getting back to somebody on the field, both offensively and defensively. And I think with Quay, we had a little bit of that. We have that defensively when he's on the field. But somebody on the field that's gridiron football, someone who is out there to make moves and essentially be a leader. But just being a leader is just something. It's such a broad statement. I want to actually take that away and say, be someone who just kicks ass. Someone who is terrifying and a personality, like with this new corner Valentine. You know what I mean? Like that attitude, that spice, that something, that joie de vivre. You know what I mean? Whatever what the French call a certain
finger super fucking hard. Like,
just you know what I mean? What the French call a certain I don't know what, you know? And with that, we're going to take just a quick commercial break for 5 seconds.
We're talking Green Bay Packers football.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to welcome our newest sponsor. Welcome to the stage, Energine Wine Drink. You ever just been drinking wine and been like, why isn't there maybe a shot of caffeine in there? Maybe 3, maybe 4. Well, Energine brings to the table that exact model. Here with 220 milligrams of caffeine, which is the equivalency of your heart exploding. And it comes in 3 fantastic flavors as of right now, including Morning Moscato, Ripping Riesling, and my personal favorite, Cowabunga Cabernet. Now, this is only legal in a few states, but we are proud sponsors of it. And if you're looking to just have your fucking night rip off, or if you're looking to just drink some real shitty wine, Energine's here to salvage your needs. Chaz, back to you.
Yeah. We're talking Green Bay Packers football.
Yes, my man. That shit was funny as hell. Oh, I had a hard time taking it in. Energine.
Energine. Ty, this is all too real. My friend made this wine, very poor wine, and then put some kind of a.
You can buy just caffeine. You can buy vials of straight caffeine and add it to anything.
It's like some kind of root that they put like in energy drinks. I don't really know. He like gave it to me today. I'm like, you're kidding, right? And then throughout the day, he kept talking about it. I'm like, you shut the fuck up. And then the names were my favorite: Cowabunga Cabernet, Chaz, Rice.
So wait, so this is a commercial for a real fake product? It's not just a fake commercial for a fake product?
Precisely. We're trying to give him a boost, right, Chaz?
I
Trying to
love
give him a
it.
leg up.
We're actually putting this guy on blast. I talked to Mangu about this today, and he was like, "I've got a commercial," which I was like, "Great," but also Energine. Energy wine. And I was like, wait, this is real? He's like, yeah, dude. He's like, if you're drinking and you know it's starting to hit a little too hard, don't you want to have a little hit of caffeine? I'm like, we have to put this on the podcast, obviously.
And he said
And when he started talking about the flavors, I'm going, this is real. I wasn't expecting Mayhew for you to have the bottle. Will you hold it up in front of the screen one more time?
That is
okay.
awesome.
So he like bottled the wine, but he's just giving people tasters, so it's like a plastic, like
Yeah,
cup.
move it up.
That's
I'll
awesome.
take a little look
I
here.
love that it's in a plastic screw top old honey bottle.
That is
Exactly.
amazing.
Exactly, Ty.
People, if you're trying to get the best and worst hangover you've ever had while never being able to go to sleep, Energine.
But also being able to go
Your
to
chest.
work.
Let me get a little taste of it.
Yeah. What are the notes?
It's
What are
honey,
the
so
notes?
it smells like nail polish remover.
Okay.
Oh God, he's drinking it.
And it tastes like rancid grape juice. This is real horrible. This is real horrible.
Dude, you're
Chaz.
gonna like the taurine and that's gonna rip your eyelids off.
Oh my god, that burned my esophagus. Yo.
We talking Green Bay Packers football.
Oh, hi there. Didn't see you. Tyson here from Two Dads and a Chaz. Hey, I just wanted to let you guys know, sometimes you work hard, you come home and you sit down and your dog sits next to you and the worst smell in the world comes out of her. It smells like a rotten fish. So I always like to give her a little bit of the old Glandex, because your dog smells like shit and you got to deal with her disgusting leaking anal glands. So you got to use some Glandex, because my dog stinks.
Boys, we could really use some sexier sponsors. I'm just putting it out there.
No, we need caffeine wine and dog ass juice all day.
God damn.
Really says a lot about our viewership. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tyson, I've been told that Energine, a little slash of that in your dog's water will change your life for the better. Or the
I
worst.
heard if you take a little Glandex to the boost zone, you can really
Put a little Glandex in your Energine.
shake it out.
I gotta give the game ball out to one specific person, and believe it or not, that's Jaylen Warren, who's not on our team. That's right, the running back for the Steelers, with a career high day for him, by the way, because as we've learned from Tyson, we are really good at making somebody look good. If they're like, he's never had over 100 yards this season, we'll be like, we're gonna be able to do that for him today. With 263 yards for the season before this game, he gets 101 yards for this game with an average of 6.7. Literally, we couldn't stop the guy. This is the first game ball I've given to anybody that's not a Packer and or one of us, but I got to say it was impressive, but man, talk about a real dick punch.
Tiny Tim put up fucking 150 yards and 3 touchdowns against us. Anyone can fucking run on us. Anybody.
All right. with the crutch, right? With the crutch.
Yeah. Because we didn't know what to do.
I mean,
Going back to what you said about the run game, direct quote from the coach himself. A lot of missed tackles. We knew they would try to run the football. They executed better than we did. Yeah, great, Matt. We had a lot of calls designed to stop the run, and they were still gashing us. So it's certainly not good enough. Cookie cutter response from a classic coach. I guess what more do you say? But it's even more depressing, like you said, two guys like Warren, going for what he did, and Najee Harris. What the fuck? Yeah, also over 200 combined yards. We know they can't throw the ball because Tiny Hands Pickett is not going to get it done. That wasn't the problem all day long. We didn't get corner, secondary took care of business, but we still allowed them to do what every team has continued to do. So, what is it at this point? What's the answer? Anybody? I would love to hear it.
I mean, there's a lot of answers. There's a lot of ways to.
Anybody else
it.
with Tyson? Ty, what do you got?
The answer to stopping the run?
Yes.
Like, you stuff the box, you commit to it, you chase him down, you tackle the motherfucker. I think we got the guys to do it. TJ Slayton, Kenny Clark, Devontae Wyatt, they should be holding down that front line. I don't know why we're having such trouble. Yeah, it's frustrating though. It definitely comes down to, you can't even say preparation at this point. We're halfway through the season. These guys should know the scheme. They should know what's going on. They should know the expectation of themselves. It's beyond me why the Steelers could just run all over us like that. It's painful, and I'm frustrated by it.
Just want to give a quick reference point as far as PFF is concerned. Bottom 5 defense is so Colby Wooden 29.3. I don't know if I've seen a score that low since we've been running this podcast. Followed by TJ Slayton, Lucas Van Ness, Carrington Valentine. All of our fans out there different from Valentine, and then Jonathan Owens. Got a lot of missed tackles, 16 total, and just fucking giving up in crucial downs on third. Now, top 5 defense, however, we got Rashawn Gary at number 1, Kenny Clark, Preston Smith, Corey Ballantyne, and Isaiah McDuffie. So it's not like we don't have guys making plays. It's that we don't seem to have the ability to pull it all together. And more importantly, third down, we're just getting fucking crushed. It's killing us game after game after game. But I want to make one thing really clear. I am on the tank train to a certain degree. I'm all about that top 5 draft pick. I know what this team is. I know where it's heading. And I would love to see a team overperform like we did this last week and then lose in a crushing way at the end of the game. I'm okay with that,
Yeah.
Top 5 draft pick, baby.
Mayhew, I'm glad you're finally out of the closet on this, because I've known this for a couple of weeks that Mayhew is rooting for our own demise, because but he's not wrong. There's definitely a lot to hope for on either side. And how do you want to fucking lose? I want to lose just like that. That was the best fucking loss of 2023. I will throw that right down and say that was a premier loss, boys. You can't lose any better than that.
That's an Energine style loss.
Fuck yeah!
You're
gonna lose. You get better while you lose. God damn it! That's the way you do it. It's the John Gruden way. You don't get wins, but you get better. You get grit, and that's what we need. We need to get our guys figure out what we fucking can't do. I'm also like, what do you got to lose? What the fuck are we doing? Parading out and being like, this is what we're doing. This is the Packer way, blah, 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 blah. Why don't you just fucking say, you know what? Let's shuffle it up. What the fuck? Let's give it a try. Based on what I've seen, here's the offensive line that makes sense. We're going to go ahead. We're going to put Yash at tackle. We're going to leave Jenkins where he is. We're going to put Tom at center. We're going to go ahead and pull the right guard and put in Sean Ryan, who we drafted in the 3rd round, who's done nothing but look good when you let him play. And then at right tackle, we're going to put we'll let Walker and or fucking Jones fucking battle it out, figure out who's going to take that right tackle spot. Either way, you could maybe see if Runyon wants it. One way or another, our team is so much better. Now the strength of this team is the interior line. We are able to hold the edge. That's all you need to be able to do on a team that plays inside out. We got this thing built backwards. We have the answers on the team. You can do the same thing for the wide receivers. Okay, you're like, well, what do you mean? You can totally change it so that our number 1 wide receiver is Romeo Dobbs. Our number 2 wide receiver is Dontavion Wicks. You keep Janerion Wicks right where he is. Not
Did you say
Davion.
Jibnerion?
Darian
I was
Reed?
saying a bunch of wrong names
Darian Reed.
for Jalen Reed. But
Do
anyway,
you think the
keep
coaches deal
Jalen
with that
Reed
from time to time?
Absolutely.
Jalen Reed.
Like, Juwan, I
you
need
keep
you to get out
Jalen
there. He's
Reed at
like, Coach,
3.
my name's Jaden. He's like, shut the fuck up. It's Juwan now.
Get out there.
Run
Get
the
out there,
route,
12.
goddamn.
Larry
Ratzenberger.
No, but really, he's you put Watson at the 4, and then at the 5 you leave Malik, and now you've already taken the guys that are producing and put them in a better position to produce more, and you got our speed guy where he belongs to the 4. So
Tyson,
solutions are there, guys.
We all want to see you as a GM and coach on the sidelines.
I like it.
I can see
I'm
it.
into it.
I can see it.
Guys, we need to get stuff done. I'm the guy for the job, right?
Couldn't disagree more. Gentlemen, we are playing the Chargers on Sunday.
We know.
Yeah, but like,
We know, but we're already looking past that loss. We're settling
Yeah.
into our
Okay,
new
we're
role
skip
as a
past
bad
that.
team.
Talk about Thanksgiving.
And
I
we're
love turkey.
moving past
I mean,
the
yeah.
losses we don't want to talk about and only
Yeah.
talking about the losses we want to win.
I got you. Sharpest podcast on the fucking planet.
Yeah.
Guys, this is a
Figure
winnable
out
game.
stuff.
It's a winnable game.
It's a
plain and
catchable
simple,
ball.
okay?
I know that for
Well,
sure.
It's yeah, I'll tell you what. Jordan Love is going to throw a catchable ball in a winnable game. We always play great. Wait, is this at home or is this a away game?
It's at home.
It's at home.
It's at home.
I like
It's at
that.
home.
Okay.
This is where we're
Yeah,
at.
I think this could be maybe the second or even first, potentially taking over first best loss of the year. I'm excited to see how we're going to lose. How do you want to lose? That's the question.
that's a good question.
All right, a lot of
How would you
research
like to
clearly
lose?
went. Yeah. How do we like to lose? I think in fine fashion, in my opinion. Either we get crushed or we fucking hang in there. I'll tell you what. The Chargers played Detroit last week. Detroit barely got out of there on the road, 41-38. You guys all know Justin Herbert. This is a quarterback that can fucking carve out defenses similar to ours. So I don't know. I also thought we were going to get rocked by the Steelers this last weekend, and we held in there. So maybe this team is doing way more with way less than I thought. But we're going to find out pretty quickly. Either we're going to get blown out, in my opinion, or, dude, we might somehow fucking find a way to win this thing, which I don't want to happen because, again, top 5 pick.
Fuck that.
Go Pack. Go Pack.
You win. You play to win the game.
Any given Sunday. Actually, the Chargers aren't
Great.
the scariest team we have coming up.
You want to skip ahead like 6 weeks, Ty?
Yeah, I do. I'd
Yeah.
rather just talk about how we're going to beat the Giants in Week 14. That's going to be pretty fun. No. The Chargers, they do have some threats. I mean, Joey Bosa, is he healthy? Because a healthy Bosa is a scary thing.
It sounds like something a doctor would say.
Yeah.
Make sure your Bosa's real healthy this Sunday.
If your Bosa's healthy,
Make
you're
sure
all
to stretch
fucked.
out your Bosa.
No, they've got. I'm surprised Detroit put that many points up on them because I thought that the Chargers defense was kind of one of their things, but apparently it's a defense that allows 38 points, and coming from a team that hasn't scored 20 points in forever, that sounds like a defense I'd like to play against. I might have
Well,
even
this
watched this game.
ESPN matchup predictor has 67% for the Los Angeles Chargers and 32% for us. So I think that's
It's
super great math, but that's fine.
It's fantastic insight, Tyson. Thank you.
You should know. I want to be clear, guys. The Chargers gave up 533 yards last week.
Oh my god!
I think we
really?
might be able to do okay against this defense. 533 yards. Maybe our problems aren't so bad. Maybe our defense is okay. Yeah, Yeah. Los Angeles went to the
insane.
game ranked 30th in the NFL in total yards allowed. The Chargers coughed up 533 yards on Sunday.
Wow, let's win this thing.
Yeah, let's go fuck these guys up, these fucking
fuck these
salmon
guys
eating
up.
bitches. I'm tired of them.
Yeah.
I'm tired of their
And then
perfect
turn
fucking
around and
skin.
4 days
I'm
later.
tired of their fucking keto bullshit. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
So if you're Matt LaFleur, Tyson, if you're Matt LaFleur, keep in mind you have a game 4 days later. You got to play these Chargers.
You're
and
gonna
then
lose
you got
that
to
game.
play
You gotta win
the
this game.
division rival 4 days later on Thanksgiving
You're
in
gonna
front of
lose
the
that.
nation. Are you holding back at all in this game, or are you going
No
for
way.
broke against the Chargers?
You're going for broke. You got to take your wins where you can get your wins. This might be the last stop on the win train for a minute. If he can sneak a win out here to make up for last week, it's going to make up for next week when we get embarrassed again by the fucking Lions on Thanksgiving. He's got to get it to this week. He's not going to go light. And then you have an excuse for why you lost the Lions. Well, we just played both times. You played the Lions on a short week. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful excuse for a team that dominated you twice. So I think he's going to go from the windows to the walls on the fucking Chargers. And also, you saw that same article I just read. He's like, "Oh baby, I'm gonna scheme up something real good. I love scheming me something special, boys."
Yep. To tag on to that, Tyson, I would invite everybody on this podcast to curb their enthusiasm. We're gonna lose the next 3 games straight. I'm gonna put it right out there. So Chargers loss. Detroit Lions on Thanksgiving, loss. Kansas City after that, that's going to be a lot.
That's definitely a win, right? Definitely a win. Right? Loss. Sorry. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, we'll almost win but lose that one.
We can assess after that, but you know.
Wait, what'd you say, Tyson? We'll almost win but lose that one.
Win but lose that game. That feels like one that you wouldn't expect us to almost win but lose, but we'll be there.
Oh, that's
Kansas City, man. That's the Sunday night game.
Tyson, that's the MO.
10 days rest.
Hold on.
Wait.
Wait.
That's what I'm really wanting. That's what I want.
Aaron, say that again.
Tyson hit it. The MO for this team is to like get close and then just fucking crush your dreams. You know what I mean? Just realize that it's coming. Realize that within those losses is actual growth. Hopefully, this Steelers was the first game where I felt like I actually saw growth. You know what I mean? But I don't mind losing. This team is not the fucking team, guys. Okay, so let's just get.
Well, it is.
Yeah, it very much is.
It's the team we got.
It's what we got. But let's turn it around next year, baby. 2024.
All right, guys. Score predictions. Where you guys at next week against Chargers? Ty, go.
Well, now that I found out the Chargers have the worst defense in the whole wide world, I'm going to say the Packers 22, Chargers 21.
Oh my God. Okay. Tyson?
I also just realized the Chargers have the worst defense in the whole wide world, and it blew my mind wide open. At this point, I feel like this is a get-right game, and it'll be fun, and everybody gets touchdowns, and I think that we are going to continue our offensive progression, and we're going to win like fucking 38-36, and it's going to be like, wow, look at us go. And that'll be the highlight of the year. This is going to be our high of the year. And yep, that's what I say. That's the end of my prediction.
I'm going to go ahead and say, now that I have just found out that they're the worst defense in the league, I'm going to go 100% 97-2.
Return of the 97-2. Jazz is back on the train, folks. We got a chance.
Which, by the way, was Mayhew's prediction last week for us to win, which he didn't get. Mayhew, what are yours?
What kind of over-under dog shit are you going to give us this week?
Tyson, I appreciate that. Look,
Do not.
It's going to be a shootout. There's no doubt. I'm going to say we're going to fucking lose 35-31. But
Yeah, I'll fuck take that all day.
let me challenge the rest of the crew here to new layer to this game. Who scores the first touchdown for the Packers? My vote AJ Dillon, wild card.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Obviously,
I like
the
that
challenge.
a
I'm
lot.
gonna say love on a keeper.
Ooh,
Nice.
I believe that the mustache will be blowing in the wind as Luke Musgrave gets his second touchdown of his career, first at Lambeau.
I'm going to say
Harrington Valentine.
it would be nice for a pick six, but I think it'll actually be Aaron Jones will get an 8-yard, which would be a long one, an 8-yard run within the 10 for the first one. I think we're getting really good at getting into the red zone, but not usually scoring other than a field goal, or an interception. So I'm going to go ahead and say that. But my real score prediction also is going to be 31-27 for the Packers, because I don't think we're actually going to lose this game.
oh shit, realistic. Chaz, was it MP or was it this last podcast? I can't remember where the amount we haven't jumped, like the Lambeau leap has been completely.
So yeah, it's been well, we weren't at Lambeau, but yeah, for this last one, it was 7 straight touchdowns at Lambeau that nobody has jumped into the stands for.
Gentlemen, have they not been told what to do, or they just don't understand?
Are they that much of a young team? They don't understand?
Dude,
I
the
wonder if
Musgrave.
there's like some kind of rule that's like if you're not up, you don't get to jump in the stand. It's like an internal rule, and we just didn't notice because we were up all the time. I don't know. Maybe that's it, because it seems like all of our touchdowns we've been from behind. And that I agree. I kind of find it refreshing, guys. A little bit of the old like throw the ball to the ref and just go back to the line. Like I appreciate us not over. I feel like we've kind of over celebrated in many years past, and though our celebrations are lame and typical, I'd still like that we're not having a great year. So like I don't need to fucking do the Lambeau leap every time, right? Are you guys bummed about that? Does that make you super sad?
No.
I
The
like
last
the
person,
Year, does that make you so sad? Is it about you now?
I like the leap when a touchdown is like extra kicks ass. When you're really getting the fans going. I mean, when you really need the energy, I like the Lambeau leap. But I am an old school Vince Lombardi guy, and I do believe that when you get to the end zone, act like you've been there before. It's intimidating to your opponents. Remember, we're not just playing physical game against these guys. It's psychological warfare. And what you need to do is intimidate them. Act like you've been there before, but shit, if you saw off an 80-yarder, I'm going to expect that you're going to jump to the third row in the corner of Lambeau. Like, it's just significant plays that need to be celebrated in and among the fans. It's the fans' team, the people's team. Celebrate with the people.
Let's keep this in mind then, in between both of those takes, that the last person to jump into the stands at Lambeau was a Detroit Lion, and that was the clip where the Packer fans poured beer all over him.
That's what you get.
So with that, my friends, we have to close out this episode of 2D and a C. Remember, like, subscribe, share, all the good stuff. We are now also on Instagram and Facebook. We're going to end it with a hashtag. And this week's hashtag is #Energine.
No.
Gentlemen, it's always a pleasure doing this podcast with you. Ladies and gentlemen, 3, 2, 1.
Energine, really?
Energine the Charger.
Energine.
Oh no. Fuck the Chargers.
Two dads and a Chaz, putting trophies on the wall. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Not exactly qualified, but answers the call. Two dads and a Chaz, talking Green Bay Packers football. We gonna break it all down, probably leave out some facts. We gonna make some statements that we'll likely regret. Most of gossip and rumors made straight off the top. So crank up the air condition, cause it's bound to get hot. Two dads and a Chaz, you know we live it and we live it right. Two dads and a Chaz, we gonna break down football for you tonight. Besides some rings and putting trophies on the wall. Trophies, y'all. Two dads and a Chaz is talking Green Bay Packers football. Yeah, we talking Green Bay Packers football.